how to re-weld rear grab bar mounts on any motorcycle, but more specifically, in my particular case, an '06 Ninja 500R. Okay, so I already ground off all the old ones. The reason I'm redoing this is because a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I had a guy do a U-turn in front of me and had to dump the bike. Long story short, they got smushed in, so I've just been riding around with a piece of duct tape covering up this part for forever. But now it's time to fix that shit. So, grind that shit off with a grinder, cutoff wheel, and a grind disc. Takes about, I don't know, 20 minutes to do that. And then I took some 1/8 inch thick steel, about this wide, it's like a couple inches. This actually came in a really like a 3-foot section, and I just cut a couple pieces off of it. So what I'm going to do is, let's see where the good side. I'm going to take a piece, weld it on like so, and weld on both sides of it, and put the other piece on there, like so. I'm going to weld that shit on, and then once that's on, just set those two pieces there. I have a piece of angle iron, which I'm going to cut to size, and it's going to go kind of at an angle, like that, and flushed up against, it's going to be kind of looking like that, sort of, when they're welded in there, but it's going to be flushed up like that. And when it's flushed up, then I'll be able to, I'll have to cut and adjust it so that I get this thing sized just right. But this is going to get bolted to it. This is also just a piece of 1/8 inch by 1.5 inch 3-foot section. So I will come back to you when all that shit is done. I should say I'm gonna have to weld that in place and then cut like at an angle in place, and then put the seat on, remove the seat, cut some more until I get it sized just right before I weld the angle on. Alright, so I got a little messy tack in the middle there, and really shitty tack on the side, but hopefully we can clean this up and get a nice bead. Alright, so given our knowledge of quantum mechanics and the electromagnetic inductive fields that exist in between the antimatter that exists in space today, how we're going to figure out what we're going to cut it at is basically, because we know that this thing butts up against the seat, we'll just simply hold it here, hold the seat down, and it's pushing against that. Then we can see that these little tab things on the bottom of the bracket are at an angle. So we just take our little, super accurate degree measurement tool that we got for a couple bucks at the dollar store. Actually, I don't fucking know where I got this shit, but we just make sure that it's flush with the bottom of the seat there, and then you just this little angle nut thing, a guru, whatever, and you just slide it forward until it's flush with the. This is called the art of eyeballing, my friends. So, I'm traditionally a mechanical engineer, and I use a fucking gauge for all this shit, but there's a balance between when you actually need to use a gauge and when you can just use this shit, and some eyeballing techniques to get the job done. Anywho, you hold this thing there, tighten it down, and you can see that it is at the same angle as those tabs. So, what we're going to do now is we're basically just going to take this thing off, put the seat down, put this here, figure out what angle that is on these things, and then just do like a chop here on both of them, put the seat down, put this in, see where it lines up, do another chop and do another chop, iteratively, just until this thing is flush with that. And then we're going to go another 1/8 inch down so that we can weld this angle seal onto the top of this shit, which you'll see eventually. So after some deep research on the technology of hadron colliders and the interactions of electrons and neutrons as they're accelerated to the speed of light, I clamped this shit together in order to get this to stay, and it's pretty rigid. And then I taped, if you ever are lost, always use duct tape. It's the best fucking thing in the world. So then I just put this down, kind of taped this where it should have been, where it's going to be, and then I just shimmied with a screwdriver and a hammer to get this lined up where it's going to be. And I don't really care that there's a gap there, whatever, because we'll just weld it onto the insides there, and you can't really see, but yeah, so that's what we got so far. Alright, so I have ground this pretty damn flush on both sides, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the top of that seam there with another weld bead just to get an even more secure connection. So Probably don't need to. This thing's rock solid, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I want it to be extra secure. So, well, fits with the seat great, but little did I know when I put this on here the way that I had it on the seat, this fucking piece of godforsaken crap fairing, yeah, doesn't line up. So, rule number 1, never assume that because it lines up with one thing that thing lines up perfectly with the other thing. So I gotta actually move that down to where that is flush. Which means I gotta grind this off and re-weld it. Yeah, what the fuck. Oh well. Update time. So I actually just kept it on there, ground this side, ground the top, cut that thing off because it was annoying, ground this side, took the extra piece of L and cut it off, and then I made it so that it fit really snug in here, like a glove. Perfect fit. It's just tapped in here right now for fitting purposes. But where did I put that thing? Oh shit, found it. Okay, so stick it on there. Fits nice and flush right on that thing. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna put the seat on. And, you will see that when I put this thing in here, it sits in there like a glove, man. Looks so much better than it did before, except for the stupid green stuff. I didn't clean that up. But otherwise, the fitment is mint. It sits, you can't really see it right now, but it's right up against it, right the way that it should be. So next step, take this stuff off, weld it, grind it, drill some holes, and we should be done. Status update. So what have I done? I have basically welded and ground that piece of metal. So this is all just one solid piece now. This shit is super rock solid. So, and then I also tacked down a piece of metal here and I just really quickly welded that just for shit, just to hold this so it's not flopping around. I don't really care if that's a crappy weld. It's gonna do the job of holding this flimsy light thing. So next thing is to paint it with some anti-rust paint and drill some holes and put it back together. Now in order to prep this for painting, you can either wipe it down with paper towels or you can just use parts cleaner. Just spray crap out of it and then just do a light wipe with paper towel afterwards and you're good to go. Alright, so I kind of just grabbed whatever was on my shelf over there. This is what I have, so I'll do a little quick, you know, easy, kind of just give zero shits kind of coat here. So, because I really don't care too much, it's more or less just as a preventative sort of kind of maintenance thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get under that, but yeah, whatever. Well, maybe. Okay. So a little update here. I got some 3/8 bolts. They fit now, but I had to get a 3/8 drill bit in my drill press to drill out these holes ever so slightly so that they would fit. Because you can see in the non-drilled out part that's too narrow. You can see where I drilled. Anywho, now we'll just put this in here, test fit, and looks pretty good. I just gotta fasten the nuts. So after giving it a wash, I bolted it back on here with some washers, nice and solid. So you can see the nut under there holding it in place. So, and last but not least, we have the seat. And there we have it. Of course, I gotta clean the bike now and get the area that I missed for the final wrap. But we now have a functioning grab bar after having this just covered with tape. So, super rock solid. Stronger than ever before.